Today, quick video. I'm gonna see if I can repair my rear passenger side door lock on my 2007 LR3. Apparently there's a small plastic actuator inside that can break and it just allows you to open the door, it just won't lock fully. So I'm gonna see if I can fix this quickly without pulling the whole door panel off. I've seen some videos on YouTube. They were a little confusing as to exactly how to do it. So I'm gonna try to make this as short and concise as possible. If I'm able to fix it, I'll post the video and hopefully you guys can follow along. And if you have the same problem, it should be an easy fix, hopefully. Let's see. Okay, so what we're looking at here, we need to pull out these 3 screws. And I'm not sure if there's any difference. The video I saw was on the front door, so I'm not sure if there's gonna be any issue getting to this child lock thing or anything, or if the shape of the door changes anything. But I saw on the front video on the front door where you can just drop this down a little bit and get to the metal tab that we need to bend. So I'm gonna pull these out and see how much wiggle room we have in here. Hopefully I don't have to go through any of the trouble of removing this door panel here. So let's give it a shot. And what are we looking at here? We got some Torx bits here. Let me see what size those are and get that removed. Okay, so T30. Okay guys, so update. There is just not enough room loosening this to get in here and bend this metal tab at all. So I ended up removing the door panel, just letting it hang here for now. I didn't want to disconnect all the wires and stuff. I'll show you, if this works out, I will show you real quick how to remove the door panel. It's really not too bad. But here, and I know this sounds crazy, this hole is not here originally. I actually used a small hole saw to drill that. And just to gain access to this, and I'm gonna show you in a second here exactly what you need to do. If you're not comfortable drilling a hole in here, you know, just skip this and you're gonna have to replace the whole actuator. But to replace the actuator, you need to remove this entire door window motor assembly, and it's probably super involved. So this to me didn't seem like too crazy of an option. Look, it's an older truck. I don't see how this is structurally going to affect anything. I'm not worried about that when you have this here and other holes in various spots. So I don't think that's a big deal. Used a small hole saw, drilled it in. I did it with this loose so that the hole saw wouldn't come in contact with anything inside. And I'm gonna see overall, I did it with this loose. I don't know if this was tight, it might make it easier. You could do it a little higher, but I don't know. It might get into this seemed like a good spot to drill the hole here. And you can see if I can get the light right here. It's difficult. You see that metal bracket? That metal bracket right on top of the white plastic where the arm is sticking out over the little cutout in the plastic. That just needs to be bent down a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is grab a needle nose pliers and just kind of tweak that down a little bit and then put it back together, test it and see if it works, and hopefully we're good. Let me give that a shot. Try to film this real quick, but you can see right here, this is the metal bracket I'm talking about. I'm just gonna get a needle nose pliers on here and try to tweak it down, like rotate it left, down a little bit. I'm gonna do this off camera. I don't have enough hands for all this at the moment, but you can see what I'm getting at here. Okay, it's pretty difficult to bend, even with the needle nose. There was no way in hell I was gonna be able to do it going in from here with a screwdriver or anything. Let me show you guys what this does. This is unlock. Now when it locks, you'll see that metal tab push down on the plastic. See that? So with that metal tab not being bent down enough, I think it's supposed to go on a piece of plastic that broke off. That metal tab doesn't press down on the plastic hard enough, it will not lock. So I bent it down a little bit. Let me see if that's enough. I'm gonna pop this back together, see if the door locks. Okay guys, here's the moment. Let's show you unlocked first. Boom, ready, lock. Look at that, yes, success. Absolutely worked perfectly. Free mod. The only thing you need is a small hole saw. You know, you can pick up anything similar, slightly bigger, slightly smaller. This is like a, I don't know, 1.1 inch. So this is pretty common. You can find this at hardware stores, and just make sure it's something for metal, not wood. I don't think a wood bit would go through it, but guys, we got success here. I'm gonna show you, let me show you how to remove that interior door panel, just because you're gonna need to do that. And Yes, I am very, very happy. If you stuck around this long, thank you. I'll show you where to actually begin. This video is a little bit in reverse, but I just wanted to make sure it worked before we get this out there. So you're gonna have to remove your door panel and drill the hole to make this work. I don't see any other possible way, but overall, just the cost of a drill bit and you're gonna have this thing fixed. So to remove the door panel, there's a Phillips head screw here. There's a Phillips head screw here. Behind this door handle, you'll see this little pluggy doodad. Just use something, carefully pry that off. Don't pull it all the way off. There's a little hanger in there. Remove the Phillips head screw here. This handle here was probably the trickiest part. It snaps down. So underneath, you'll see, kind of hard to see here, but you'll see there's a little opening there, one opening, little opening there. I have like these little dental picks. You could probably just use a little flathead screwdriver and just up from the bottom and just kind of pushed it forward. And it just popped it loose enough where I could get my fingernails under and just lifted it up. And then what you have on the top, these tabs here. This tab here, and then there's one on the other side. They need to kind of, you can pull them straight up. It seemed kind of sketchy. This one popped up easy, and then I was able to get down in there, and I looked with a flashlight, and the same deal with this little pick, or if you use a little flathead, I just kind of carefully pried that plastic piece back, just because there is a little, you can see that little hook on the front there. See that little hook right there? If you push that tab toward the back, this will pop up easily. But once you get that off, 4 screws. Phillips head here, Phillips head there. You see the 2 holes. Same deal over here, Phillips head, and then what you need to do, pull the bottom here, and there are clips on the top. The bottom will be loose. The top, this popped off easy because, again, it came off already, but this I just grabbed up here and I kind of pulled it out toward me, and you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4 clips, and they just go into directly into the little receiver parts here. Now, when you go to put this back on, just make sure, you'll see down there, this wire harness hanging here. This goes to your footwell light. That needs to be plugged back in. Make sure, when you put everything back together, you pop these rubber grommets back in. I popped this one out to put a flashlight in there to kind of see what I was doing initially, and then make sure this one goes in right. This is for the actuator cable. Just make sure, before you put everything back together, double check everything that you didn't pull anything loose. Again, here is the access hole that I drilled. Looking at it now, let me just see if there's, I feel like it would end up, just looking to see if there's an easier way to do this. It would end up kind of back here. I feel like it's a little too close to this to drill a hole. I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out, drilling this hole in this position, kind of centered between these two. And then if you were to draw a straight line through these two, it's just offset a little bit so that this edge ends up right on that straight line. It just gives you enough distance from here to here where I don't think it's gonna affect anything structurally. And with this loose, so you take these 3 screws out, with this loose, it hangs down into the point where it's in the exact position where you could just tweak that little arm down a little bit. And it is not much, guys. I'm talking I moved that arm down 2 millimeters just with the pliers, and I twisted it. I got the needle nose pliers on there and just twisted them pretty hard. It's not easy to bend. Don't go crazy. And just a tiny bit, 2 millimeters, right? And that's enough. And that's it, guys. So huge success. I'm gonna pop this back together and show you guys the final results. That's it, guys. We have, let's double check one more time. Just got scared there for a second, but nope, it locks. So that's it. Worked out perfect. And you can see on the inside here, we have no damage. Didn't break any clips, didn't break anything. So just kind of follow what I laid out here. It's really not too bad. I think you guys can do this. On the front door, I'm not positive. I saw a video where, you do have a lot more room down here because you don't have that cut out like you do back here for the wheel well. So the front, you might be able to just pop this loose and sneak down, but I still don't know. That thing is really hard to bend. So I really feel like you're gonna have to get a needle nose pliers on it, and I don't see how you could possibly do that from this access panel, unless there's something more cut out behind here. I'm not positive. But again, the little hole saw, I think, is the key to this whole operation, because you could just kind of make a little hole there and gain access and just tweak that arm down, you're good to go. So I personally don't have any issue doing that. I mean, again, I mentioned earlier, it is an older truck. I don't know, you know, if it was a brand new, like something a couple years old that I was still paying for, I don't know that I'd go drilling holes in it, but you know, I picked this up pretty cheap. So this is a pretty easy way to fix some of the little problems that I just don't want to spend the money and put in the time and effort. You know, I think it's like $200 something for an actuator, and to do it the proper way and take everything out, I mean, you're talking hours and hours and hours. And this, you know, now that I did this once, I could probably do this in maybe 20, 25 minutes total, start to finish. And pretty simple. So hopefully this video helped you guys out, and who knows, maybe I'll have some more stuff on the Land Rover coming up soon. Later.